The first station, Jesus is condemned to death.
Save yourself, or die to save others. Who likes to be singled out? Have you ever been? Judas has just betrayed him with a kiss. Judged and condemned because he calls himself the Son of God. He's a disturber. He liked and associated with people who had bad reputations. Are you on trial today? Do you judge yourself? Do you condemn yourself?
Could your words and attitude towards others be interpreted as judgment and condemnations? You can remember many years, perhaps even a lifetime, when someone pointed a finger at you, or who laughed at you, or who labeled you unfairly. If you were to name a judgment that remains heavy to bear, one that was unfair to you and undeserved, that killed a part of you, what would that judgment be? The second station, Jesus takes up his cross.
Jesus is loaded up with a cross. He accepts and carries it. This heavy cross made him suffer. He could have well done without it. He could have also argued to try and avoid it. But is it possible to love without, sooner or later, suffering? What is your cross today? What is weighing heavy on your shoulders that you yourself have not chosen?
A family situation, a heartache, an illness, a failure, a disability, the death of a loved one. Do you spend your time avoiding this cross, ignoring it, trying to distract yourself from it, numbing yourself so you no longer feel it? Don't you think that refusing your cross can hurt you more than accepting it? It is not a question of submitting to it or resigning ourselves to it, but to carry it rather than to avoid it. To carry it and not to let yourself be crushed by it. To carry it and not to ignore it. What exactly is your cross? The one that is difficult for you to bear, that you dread and that scares you? The one you may not dare to admit or recognize? The third station, Jesus falls for the first time.
The one who claimed to be the Son of God and who was to save the world is now stretched out on the ground. He's willing to carry his cross, even if it sends him falling. Will he be able to carry it to the end? The road seems long. He falls and shows his weakness in front of everyone. It's embarrassing and humiliating. Yet he gets up and takes to the road, always with his cross, the one imposed on him in which he did not choose.
Today, does your cross bring you down? Do you sometimes dare to say that you can't take it anymore? Take a look at your life. Have you allowed yourself to fall? What do you do when you can no longer carry your cross? Walk and live with such a weight on your back? Do you show your vulnerability, your weakness, your limits? Do you claim to always be strong and sure of yourself and tough? Someone who nothing ever shakes? After all, isn't the real strength to embrace your weakness rather than fear and ignore it? You have to be strong to accept your weakness and vulnerability. Do you allow yourself to fall?
Ever patient and her yearning, through her tear-filled eyes were burning. Mary gazed upon her Son.
The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother.
On this journey, Mary and Jesus meet and look at each other intensely. What a look of compassion. But above all, what a look of communion in this passion. Mary is standing, witnessing her son's suffering. All she can do is look and nothing more. He lets himself be watched and loved by his mother. This exchanged gaze helps them both. Mother and child carry their cross.
Now you know what the look can reveal. There are the looks you expect from the ones you like. There are those who reveal to you the tenderness of the heart and those who freeze your heart. The gaze sometimes expresses what you cannot say in words. Look with the heart. Take the time to look at the other person to express the unspeakable to him. You are then vulnerable and helpless, since he can see everything within your heart. Do you remember that look that marked your life and that penetrated you to the bottom of your heart? What helps you the most to walk with your cross and continue on your way despite your suffering? A crutch or a gaze? By whom do you allow yourself to be looked at with tenderness?
Without sorrow contemplating, on that passion meditating,
The fifth station, Simon helps Jesus carry his cross.
An anonymous person in the crowd is the one who does something. His act of compassion gave him a place in history. What to say about him? It is Jesus who is the focal point in this walk. It is the known who allows himself to be helped by the unknown, the stranger. Again, this is disturbing.
Today, when you see someone who needs help, do you just look at them and keep going? Do you dare to step forward to offer your help? And when it's you who can't go any further, do you allow yourself to be helped? Do you accept the unknown hand extended towards you? Are you determined to what to fend for yourself? Where does this pride come from? Are you a passive spectator of your life? Or have you forgotten the gift of free will with which God created you? Take the time to think for a few moments. Do you feel too prideful when the other one comes close to you to help you? Are you embarrassed to help the other?
Christ Jesus for our salvation, scourged with cruel acclamation, bruised and beaten by the Lord.
The sixth station, Veronica wipes Jesus' face with her veil.
A woman comes up and wipes Jesus' face. This woman cannot help Jesus by lifting his cross. She probably isn't able. However, her gesture is no less important. Whatever she can do, she does. While the soldiers flog Jesus, shout abuse at him, and spit in his face, this woman sees something else. Out of compassion, she wipes his face and restores his dignity.
Today, people have just a hug to give, a damp cloth to refresh an exhausted face. These simple gestures revealed the love that burned within Mother Teresa. On the streets of Calcutta, she picked up dying children on the sidewalks, gave them a drink, wiped their faces. Then they could die with dignity, like children of God when they no longer even seem to be children of man. What gesture did you take with a loved one that made a real difference? If you dream of changing the world with your great ideals, you risk being disappointed. But your seemingly simple little gestures can change the world around you. Have you thought about it? You can be extraordinary in ordinary gestures. A little word, an affectionate gestures towards someone who seems to be going through a difficult period. Who is the person you know most in need of a gesture of compassion from you? It doesn't take much to brighten another's day. The seventh station, Jesus falls for the second time.
Falling the first time, he was able to get back on his feet. Falling a second time, Jesus had recovered by himself from his first fall and was able to continue. Simon and Veronica's help helped him to go on. Now the cross has forced him to the ground again. Will he give up or get up again?
Today, to fall, to collapse is not really allowed. You have to perform, succeed, win, smile, and pretend. Those who fall and fall again are disturbing. Talking about what brings us down is almost a taboo subject. However, each of us could say, if you knew what I am going through, what I am carrying deep inside me, if you only knew what I am hiding from you. Do you allow yourself to fall back without hiding your weakness, even at the risk of lowering the esteem of others? What if falling a second time instead meant an opportunity to get up a second time? In what situation do you think you fell a second time? Do you really think you can get up again several times and get back on the road?
Very font of love's devotion, let me share with true emotion all the sorrow you endured.
The eighth station, Jesus speaks to the women of Jerusalem.
Women are by the road to see Jesus pass by. They are grieved. They are crying. They would like to do something. How can you resign yourself to do nothing? No one likes this feeling of helplessness. Jesus looks at them and understands them. He invites them to change their own lives to find the real consolation.
There are plenty of situations today where you feel helpless. How to eradicate poverty, humanize globalization, give back the taste for life to the person who is thinking of suicide, to console the one who experiences a rupture, a failure, an illness. The feeling of helplessness may tip you into resignation, cowardice, or despair. You may have little power over the lives of others, but your own life, it is in your hands. What is there to be changed in your life? Have you ever succumbed to the temptation to just live your life as it is, believing that there was nothing you could do better? Don't you accept that you can transform the world when you first transform your life?
Virgin ever interceding, hear me in my fervent pleading. Fire me with your
The ninth station, Jesus falls for the third time.
That's it. What shouldn't happen, happens. A third time. This is really the end. Why get up if we keep falling? We have to face the facts. Jesus cannot take any more of this. We could say that he tried to carry his cross to the end. He who wanted to save others is himself defeated and crushed under a cross. We only see his weakness, nothing else. And yet, what is considered weak in the world is what is used to confuse the strong.
Today, so many people can no longer walk alone without the help of others. They keep falling and falling over and over again. When you can't even think of getting up, what then are you to do? Have you ever experienced deep weakness or the inability to walk alone on your own? To acknowledge your own weakness is to grow deeper in holiness. You have undoubtedly fallen many times, but what is the fall from which you were unable to recover on your own? When have you needed another's help to get back on the road?
Mother, may this prayer be granted, that Christ's love may be implanted in the depths of my poor soul.
The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his garments.
Jesus is on the ground. Roman soldiers strip him of his clothes. They take pleasure in taunting and humiliating him. To strip someone naked in front of everyone is to take away all their dignity. Our clothes are also kind of who we are. They are part of us. Thus, letting himself be stripped of his identity and his dignity, Jesus mysteriously reveals the identity and the mad love of the Father. Jesus, laid bare, shows how far this love goes.
Today, people all over the world are treated with no respect. The person is seen as a number, a machine, an object. Animals are sometimes better regarded. People are exploited by their employer. Others have lost their reputations, victims of false rumors. Young people have felt used and betrayed in their first romantic experiences. Do you remember certain episodes in your life when, treated unfairly, you felt less than nothing? In what situation, without realizing it, have you let yourself be convinced that you are not worth much?
At the cross your sorrow sharing, all your grief and torment bearing, let me stand unmourned
The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross.
Humiliating and robbing him is not enough for them. They nail him to the cross. Jesus does not defend himself. The soldiers pierce his heart, but as we will see, they will not succeed in reaching his sacred heart. It's the heart that hurts. Only the madness of love can transform the madness of hate.
But how to forgive and not to condemn? Jesus prays, "Father, forgive them, because they sure don't know what they're doing." Sometimes we do what seems irreparable to us because the evil is in our heart. Jesus knows that only his Father can accomplish the impossible, converting those who pierce the heart and healing those who have pierced hearts. The endless spiral of gratuitous violence can only be stopped by the endless spiral of gratuitous love. Today, entire lives are wounded by the nails of hatred, by the horror of war. In many phases, tears speak of anguish and pain. Perhaps you too have suppressed this pain in order to be able to continue living. Perhaps you remain a prisoner of your cross because your flesh is nailed to it. Maybe your pierced heart is trying to close for protection. You then cover your traumas and your deepest wounds with a shroud. The heart of flesh protects itself by becoming a heart of stone. The heart of stone becomes a tomb which imprisons the yes to life and the yes to love. Can you name what in your is it crucified? What despite many years remains painful? What is this wound that you do not heal from?
Fairest maid of all creation, Queen of hope and consolation, let me feel your grief sublime.
The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross.
In the face of death, Jesus is alone. He knows fear like any one of us. He knows the anguish and the absence. My God, why have you abandoned me? With a loud cry, he dies, without privacy. And yet, despite the apparent absence of the Father, he addresses him in an act of ultimate trust. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. The silence of God will soon speak louder than words.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb?
Today, just now, people all over the world are breathing their last. Some die alone in a hospital room. Others, also alone, take their own lives. In their cell, prisoners fear what awaits them. People who have lost their loved one are screaming, "Why have you abandoned me?" Children, adolescents, fathers and mothers, bandits, saints. Death does not choose, but the Father welcomes them with a wide open heart. Death does not erupt into our life only at the end of our journey. We experience it all along the way. Maybe you live as if death doesn't exist. If death frightens you, put this fear back into the Father's hands. In His hands, your fear will be taken away. Anger, pain, loss of a loved one, failure, poor health, or struggling in vain against all of this prevents life. What if you opened your hands to welcome this new life? The 13th station, Jesus is taken down from the cross.
Jesus is taken down from the cross. Hours earlier, passers-by, high priests, scribes, and elders taunted him. Let him come down from the cross, and we will believe him. Jesus did not come down from the cross. He died there. Coming down from the cross might have tempted Jesus. He would have amazed the spectators present. Jesus is not a masochist. He does not seek the cross for the cross. Rather, he uses it to ascend to his Father. God does not put crosses in my life. He puts life in my crosses.
The curious leave the stage. The show is over for them. The body of Jesus is placed in the arms of his mother. It will then be placed in the tomb. In Bethlehem, Mary had held this newborn child in her arms. Now, at the cross, she welcomes, in her tenderness and pain, the lifeless body of her firstborn child. Better than anyone, Mary understands our suffering. The mother of sorrows becomes the mother of perpetual help for us. Today, it is easy for you to counsel others to come down from their cross, to choose an easier path. Maybe you're thinking about it yourself. You know very well that the paths that lead to life are sometimes painful. The mother knows that she will suffer while giving birth to her child. The patient knows that he will suffer during his treatment. The student knows he will suffer to graduate. This path, Jesus lived it once and for all before us, and still lives it today with us. Do you remember someone who enveloped you in their tenderness when everyone had abandoned you? When you are in too much pain, who do you call for help?
Savior, when my life shall leave me, through your mother's prayers receive me, with the fruits of victory.
The 14th station, Jesus is laid in the tomb.
Jesus was disturbing. Dead, he'll no longer bother anyone. Jesus spoke eloquently. Now he won't say anything more. Jesus drew crowds. In a tomb, he will no longer attract anyone. No matter how much Jesus preached love, hatred apparently triumphed. Jesus brought Lazarus back to life, but he chose death. The Jesus case is now closed. It will become a thing of the past.
Today, you sometimes think that all is over, that all is lost, and that there is nothing more to do. You think it is the end, the darkness, the failure. But will death have the last word?